Hello everybody and welcome back to the John Schofield Trust Podcast, a space for early career, aspiring and working journalists to get advice and insights into the industry. I'm your host, Bethany Lee, an early career journalist and a 2024 fellow of the Trust. And this episode is a Minisode compiled of Vox Pops from back at our regional masterclass in Cornwall. It's been a little while since that masterclass and these Vox Pops have kind of just been sat on my phone, taking up storage. And I thought it was about time that we used them because there's some really, really useful tips in here about networking, which whether you love it or hate it is a really big part of our industry and something that we've all got to do. So I asked everybody at the event what their top tip was for networking, and this is what they had to say.
I'm Tony. I am an ex-BBC video journalist. I was at the BBC 30 years. I actually met John Schofield in Croatia about 35, 38 years, whenever it was, long time ago. I've been a mentor and thoroughly enjoyed it, still in touch with my mentee. I think it's a fantastic scheme, and my one piece of advice would be to get on this scheme. Apart from that, I would say don't be afraid to reach out to people, either in person, on the phone, email, LinkedIn. I'm here tonight because Danielle, who's a mentee, messaged me on LinkedIn and asked a few questions, and I was really happy to help. And I would say most of us in the news business like the idea of people wanting to ask us questions, and we will give our time. So don't be afraid, don't be put off. Most people are actually really nice and we want to help.
Hi, I'm Victoria. I'm from Source FM. I'm a presenter. My show is called A Chat with Victoria. And my top tip for networking is just be yourself. Don't try and be anyone else. And just go in there and be natural and speak to people. That's all it takes.
My name's Emma Vowles and I'm an early career journalist who previously worked in hospitality for 30 years. So networking for me has been a learning curve, as I'm someone who worked in the background, who worked in kitchens. So networking has been something that's been out of my comfort zone a bit. Coming to these kind of events is really helpful because, believe it or not, there are a lot of other people here who feel exactly the same way, and I've had lots of conversations with other mentees along those lines, which has in itself led to networking. So that's the advice I would give, is even if you feel awkward, talk to somebody about that and they probably feel the same way, and then you meet each other.
Hi, I'm Kevin Bishop. I'm a former BBC News and sport producer and also a former mentor on the John Schofield Trust. I think my one bit of advice when it comes to networking is, or early career advice, is to have a cup of coffee with people. It's just to go and meet people, just to go and sit down and chat with them. You don't know half or even a quarter of what they might be able to give you, because until you start talking with them, they don't know who you are, and they're going to draw stuff out of you. You have no idea that they can actually find out about you, and they will know somebody. They'll know somebody who can help you with something. They'll know someone who's looking for someone who's got a role going at the moment, or they might know someone who's working in a field that you might be interested in. So just go and sit down with someone, have a cup of coffee, and you're guaranteed to come away with a little nugget of information you knew nothing about.
Hi there, my name is Marla and I'm a second year journalism and creative writing student at Falmouth University. I think that my top piece of advice for networking would be to use LinkedIn. Everyone's always talking about it, but honestly it's so good. It's a great way to stay in touch with people after you've met them briefly in person, and you can really showcase all your work so they can see at a glance what you're about and what you've done before. So get on LinkedIn.
Hi, I'm Martha Dixon and I'm a lecturer at Falmouth University teaching those wonderful journalism students who are taking their first steps into the world of journalism. And following what they're doing over the next few years, I would say you think you need to network with the big bodies in the journalism world, but also network with each other, because your friends will become great contacts as they do well in the world of journalism. Stay friends with them. They're your network, and you'll be giving each other jobs before you know it. It's a wonderful thing. And my network from my postgrad here at Falmouth University are all flying high in the world of journalism, and it's great to keep in contact with them and maybe get a little job off each other.
Hello, my name is Francis Pello. I'm a volunteer reporter for local community radio. My tip for networking is you ask people who they should speak to, because then you've got somebody to act as an introducer for you. Even though you don't know this person, they're now your advocate and they have set up your next person, and they probably know the best people to speak to.
My name's Molly and I'm a student, and I would say that my best advice for networking, I think the importance of eye contact and remembering names can't be understated. I think you become much more appealing if you can literally just say someone's name in the conversation. It makes you more memorable, and holding eye contact shows confidence.
My name's Teva, I'm a first year journalism student, and from what I've learnt tonight, my top advice for networking would be to just remember that everyone is really nice and wants to speak to you and is helpful, and to be curious about what everyone else has to say, and just get to know as many people as you can, because even if only one of them ends up being like a connection, that's enough. And it's just nice to get to know people.
I'm Ellen Manning, I'm a freelance journalist. My biggest piece of advice for networking is probably to just be yourself. It never feels particularly easy. It's always strange being in a room full of strangers, but it's a safe space where you can literally talk to anyone and no one's going to think you're a weirdo. So just put yourself out there, swallow the fear, swallow your pride, and just meet people and have fun with it.
Hi, I'm Andy Coote from Source FM. In a past life, I wrote a book about business networking with a friend, and my top tip is just be yourself. People will recognize that you're being genuine and not trying to force anything. And whatever you do, don't be a thruster. Don't stick a card in somebody's face the moment you get to them, because that will never work.
Thank you for tuning in to the John Schofield Trust podcast. For more episodes, make sure to follow us. Or if you want to know more about the Trust, head to www.johnscofieldtrust.org.uk and follow us on Instagram at John Schofield Trust. See you next time.